When I'm sifting through my spam folders in search of email scammers to bait, which we will get to in this video, I usually just skip over the actual spam and phishing emails. But I thought it might be interesting just to take a look at what some of this spam looks like, and maybe a little bit of what it does. Spam, at least the spam I get to see, seems to happen in waves, often having a common style or appearance that persists for a little while before it's replaced by something else. Sometimes I think this probably indicates that it's all coming from exactly the same source, that is, one individual or organisation aggressively spamming. Or sometimes it might indicate that there's a vulnerability in some online service, such as Google Docs, that a large number of scammers are exploiting before it gets closed down. And in reality, I think probably both of those categories happen and overlap. One little flurry of spam I received looked like this. Can't miss. Congratulations, you received a brand new Ring doorbell and floodlight camera. Supposedly from Currys, but obviously not from Currys. Or the same thing, but it's a power drill. Or the same thing, but apparently now from Lidl, and it's a gift card. I investigated the links in these emails, taking proper precautions to do so in a sandboxed environment, but the links were mostly dead, even within just a few hours of the message being received, which I suppose is quite a positive sign. Some filtering or reporting process somewhere has resulted in these things being recognised as spam or scams and shut them down. Interestingly, all of these emails had more than one unsubscribe footer, and when I looked at those, the link target was exactly the same as the click here button in the main email. Whatever these actually were, the unsubscribe link wasn't what it claimed to be. It was just another link to the scam. Then that's why you should probably never click unsubscribe in a spam email that you didn't subscribe to. It's not what it's claiming to be. So I don't know what all of these went to, but my best guess would be either a phishing page that asks you for all of your personal and banking information, the kind of information you should never share with a stranger on the internet, to be fed to a second phase scam where someone phones you up and claims to be your bank. Or maybe just one of those fake free offer scams where it looks like you're just about to qualify for the free gift, if only you just click one more thing and complete one more requirement. The requirements initially being free, but then gradually starting to ask for money. The little gift card spam was exactly like that. It started off as a free offer to get you hooked, then gradually escalated into wanting small amounts of money, which is where I bailed out. If you want to see a deeper dive on this type of scam, Pleasant Green has made a video about the fake free Coke fridge offer. Link to that is in the video description and this card. The next batch of spams were sort of similar. Ace Hardware, enter for a chance to win, or you have won AirPods. These were different in that they had this form thing at the bottom of the email. I think this might be an indicator that this was sent out of Google Forms or some compromised Office 365 component or something like that. There were also very similar looking spam emails purporting to be for dating services, but I think just a front for adult sites. Again, couldn't check this for sure as the link was already dead by the time I got to it. So not much of that went very far. Maybe next time. However, I was able to dig into this next one just a little bit deeper. Wellaleth chance 5,000 USD every week? Investing in Bitcoin now is the most sensible choice to make big returns. Yeah, okay. Special report. J.K. Rowling's latest investment has the government and big banks terrified. The United Kingdom citizens are already raking in millions of pounds from home using this wealth loophole. But is it legitimate? Spoilers, no it's not. J.K. Rowling, the author of the much-loved series of 7 Harry Potter novels, has a number of successful projects on her roster, but nothing compares to her latest investment. Last week she appeared on 10 o'clock news and announced a new wealth loophole, which she says can transform anyone into a millionaire within 3 to 4 months. The 46-year-old urged everyone in the United Kingdom to jump into this amazing opportunity before the big banks shut it down for good. And sure enough, minutes after the interview was over, National United Kingdom Bank, not a thing, called to stop Rowling's interview from being aired. It was already too late. So this is a really common spam format, and I've seen the exact same claim before where different public figures, Daniel Radcliffe, Richard Branson, Mel Gibson, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, Jeremy Clarkson, etc., had all discovered and endorsed this supposed wealth loophole. Of course they have done no such thing, and this is just scammers trying to use a well-known name to create a gloss of legitimacy on a scam. So in a sandbox environment, I visited the link for this scam. The first thing I noticed was that it went through several redirects, which is suspicious all by itself. It eventually landed on this counterfeit news article, using a template that's a clone of the BBC website, complete with this urgent-looking countdown timer that implies this amazing offer will expire in a short time, but also resets to its initial value every time the page is refreshed. The article itself is complete garbage. breathlessly praising this amazing new get-rich-quick scheme that is guaranteed. Fake testimonials down the side here, based on stock or stolen images, and the main text blathering on about J.K. Rowling's supposed wealth loophole, which apparently has nothing to do with the wealth earned from writing the highest-selling series of novels of all time. No, apparently what has made her successful is a new cryptocurrency auto-trading program called Bitcoin Bank. It's the single biggest opportunity I've seen in my lifetime to build a small fortune fast. I urge everyone to check this out before the big banks shut it down. I mean, it's supposedly legit, but the banks called the TV station apparently to stop Rowling's interview from being aired. Yeah, sure, that happened. I'm not going to read the whole of this rambling screed of snake oil, which is complete with a supposed test and endorsement from the article's writer, as well as glowing and enthusiastic comments all saying how amazing it is. But I'll scroll the whole of it on screen so you can enjoy it if you want. And here's another article that I got to via a different but ultimately quite similar scam email. This time masquerading as an article, no wait, advertorial from that well-known popular news source, The Sum. Ah yes, The Sum. Not to be confused with the Daily Mirror. Very much the same nonsense on this one, talking about a broadcast that never happened, about a get-rich-quick scheme that is guaranteed. Again, not going to read the whole of this wibble. Here's a scroll through the whole thing. So, what happens if you click through and try to sign up for this nonsense? Well, here's what. I signed up for Bitcoin Bank as my new scambaiting persona, Spatula Grime, using a brand new email account so I wouldn't be confounded by other spam that coincidentally looks the same. Spatula received an email confirming that a real account has been created successfully on a site called Capital Trader. The email contained the account number and password in plain in the body of the email, which is something I find a little bit unusual. I would not expect a modern web service to set up an account in this way. Almost immediately, another email saying the account is ready and containing another username and password. Interestingly different from the previous ones. I still don't think a properly curated professional service would do this. A couple of days later, another email from GP Swiss saying that another account has been set up and again containing the login details, including a password that is password1. These login details didn't work at all, so I'm not sure what's happening there. Now, I'm not familiar with the world of online trading, so I'm unqualified to judge what these sites are doing or pretending to do, and without injecting some money, which I'm not going to do, it's not really possible to dig much deeper. However, we can speculate on what kind of scam might be happening here, and I hope it's obvious that this has to be a scam. No legitimate website or service operates in the way that got us where we are here. So it could be really simple, just completely fake websites that take your money and run. But that's potentially quite a lot of effort for maybe a smallish payout that dries up immediately. It could be that these investment portals will pretend that you're making profits, but that you need to invest more to attain some limit where you start withdrawing the funds, encouraging you to put in more money which you never get back. I suppose it could even be that the scammer has signed up Spatula Grime for some sort of genuine but sketchy investment portal website, and the scammer has retained Spatula's login details, enabling them to steal any money that appears in the account. I don't know. My inclination to investigate this further was curtailed by my reluctance to part with any money to do so. I think we'll need to leave this one here. I know online trading is a thing, and I know it can sometimes use automation, but I am certain that what we're looking at here is very far from legit. If you know more about this sort of scam, let me know in the comments. Time for Spatula Grime to move on to something else. A little bit of scambaiting, perhaps. A new mailbox won't naturally start receiving scam messages all on its own. What's needed to get it started is often a transplant. So from one of my older scambaiting mailboxes where I have a distinct surplus of emails, I did this. Take a fresh scam email, click reply, then copy and paste out the pieces of that reply email into a new message on the new mailbox. Then type some sort of response and send. The scammer won't usually notice that the person responding was not on their outbound list because they send these things in massive bulk. And so I replied to a whole load of scam emails, such as this one from Chairman Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, who says, "Greeting in the name of our Almighty God. I wish you and your family happy moments of life. I am certain this message might come to you as a surprise again. Nevertheless, I humbly ask you to give me your attention and hear me well." What might I have done to attract the attention of the Prime Minister of Canada? Well, it turns out he wanted to help me recover a very large sum of money. And I do mean large. US $95 million United States dollars. So that's 95 million square United States cubed dollars. Deposited with the Royal Bank of Canada, won by your email address via online active email address selected from sponsor of Coca-Cola Company Award. It was registered with your email address by the Lottery Board Executive Directors of Coca-Cola Company Canada Branch. Well, yes, that does sound like something the Prime Minister of Canada should be dealing with personally on my behalf. All I needed to do was send him, that is Chairman Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, a $200 iTunes card, Steam Wallet card or Google Play card. Of course. I replied, "Wow, this message is a great surprise to me, I must say." And it would have been fun to bait this scammer, I think, but sadly they never replied. Next, an email from Wood Forest National Bank, titled "Considering the Volume of Your Payment." And as always, just some rambling story about $17.5 million they wanted me to have. Pretty standard, really. I did particularly like the line in shouty caps that said, "NB, this transaction is being monitored by the United States government in order to guard us for internet imposters." And they wanted my personal details. You know, the sort of details you should never share with a stranger on the internet. Since they wanted me to consider the volume of my payment, I replied, honestly, I try not to think about the volume and just focus on the area of the upper face, or sometimes one of the long edges. What happened next was slightly unusual. A reply saying, "Got your email, and I'm assuring you that this $110 required is all needed to be paid in order to receive your 17.5 MUSD transaction from our bank, Wood Forest Bank, as scheduled today. Do remember to provide us with your ID card, bank details, and your mailing address where you wanted the interest of your total fund, 17.5 MUSD, to be transferred or delivered to, including your current phone number, immediately. Send the required fee via Steam Wallet card or Apple Card at $110, making it the $110 fee required. Scratch the card, take a picture of the front card, and then send to me the scanned copies here immediately in order to proceed on your transaction as already programmed today. Okay. Waiting to hear from you soon?" Then another email saying the exact same. Then another, then several more. Then over the course of the next few days, lots and lots more of the same exact message. First time I've seen this tactic, but I imagine what's happening here is they've set up a script just to spam this out to all respondents in the hope that a few of them will reply with the requested gift card codes. It might have been interesting to send some fake cards, but I don't think it would have gone anywhere. This scammer's clearly not into one-to-one communication. But how about this one? Attached to this email is the good news for you. Kindly read the letter carefully to understand the content of the letter. Spatula replied, "Yeah, attachments don't really work. So, what's this even about?" The scammer replied, "Dear Spatula Grime, this is to inform you that we have received instruction to compensate you the sum of $20,500,000 United States, singular, dollars through diplomatic hand delivery. Owing to logistics and tax, as stated before, we have deducted the sum of $10,000 from your $2.5 million to take care of that. Be informed, the World Financial Policy has warned us to make sure that you stop further communications with fake facilitators who claim that they will pay you through Western Union or MoneyGram, because none has the authorization to do so." Spatula said, "Okay, I'm glad to hear this. Yes, there have been a great many imposters seemingly trying to intervene in this transaction, only to ask for payment via gift cards or bits of coin. Can you please confirm, is it true to say that if any such person requests payment before delivering the fund, they are a scammer?" The scammer said, "Yes, I confirm." So just to be clear, here we have a scammer confirming that anyone who asks for payment before delivering the fund is a scammer. Good to know. Okay then, let us proceed. The scammer asked, "Kindly provide your full name and address, thank you." Now, normally this is the part where I would say, the sort of details you should never share with a stranger on the internet, but Spatula Grime went right ahead and sent those details. Of course it was a fictional address, but plausible enough that a Google Map search wouldn't reveal it as fake. The scammer replied, attaching a picture of a large trunk case and confirming that we are done with your clearance process and your funds, valued the sum of $20,490,000 United States dollars, has been packaged in a consignment box. We have received a letter from the bank in charge that your fund box has been deposited with the UN Courier Company to deliver it to your home address tomorrow with the help of UN diplomat staff Gian Martins. Please take note of this important notice. Your funds were registered with the UN Courier Service as (family treasure gift items) for security reasons. So please, for the safety of this very transaction, do not disclose the real content, which is your raw cash, to the diplomat agent. So there we have it. No fee was requested and the funds are now on their way. So this must be real, right? Well, no. The day of delivery came with no communication from the scammer. I wasn't waiting there in that road at East Wittering, but I am as sure as I needed to be that no diplomatic agent from the UN was walking up and down dragging a large box of money. Later on in the supposed day of delivery, the agent emailed to say, "Treasure/gift items I accompany with my diplomatic immunity to be delivered to you. I have been trying on reaching out to you on phone, but not going through," which is not really surprising since I hadn't given a phone number. So I decided to email to let you know that I have arrived safely in our headquarters here in United States of America for immediate delivery of your package to your provided home address, Porkstone Villa, Marine Drive, East Wittering, which is not in the United States of America. The inspection manager have verified and find out that the sender, Mr. Patrick, did not send the paperwork and key of your consignment box to you, and as a rule of this UN diplomatic service stands, you must have the paperwork and key before my arrival because you must sign out the necessary release order before I release the consignment box to you. Kindly contact the sender, Mr. Patrick. The modality of our operation stands that you must have the security key paperwork to sign the attention booklet that you receive the consignment with its completion and in good condition. So quickly contact the sender and let me know you are with the security key and paperwork to effect the delivery immediately. Your box is now in Chichester Goodwood Airport, also not in the United States. Now, in case you think this scam is familiar, I have seen this one several times, and I think I've even done a couple of videos about it. I have also tried in the past lying about having the paperwork and key. It doesn't work. They just stop communication, obviously because there is no paperwork or key, and they know that. Spatula replied to the agent, "Well, this is ridiculous. Your incompetence is not my problem." And to Patrick, "I received an email from the delivery agent, some weak excuse about a key and some paperwork that you failed to organise. Please resolve this matter." Patrick replied, "Hold on, let me send my driver to the UN office to complain about it. I will get back to you shortly." "Quick as you can, please," replied Spatula. I wasted most of yesterday waiting because of this nonsense. A couple of days passed with no communication. Spatula inquired, "I've heard nothing from either you or the other person. What's going on?" The UN agent wrote, "I have placed your consignment box in the security department for security purposes until you have your security key and paperwork." Well, Spatula said, "That sounds like it will be sufficiently secure. Now what?" Of course, there was a problem. Can you guess what kind of a problem? Well, the kind of a problem that requires money. I have just checked with the overnight speed courier service company and they said that to send your necessary papers and the security key expressly to your home address will cost the sum of £155.53. And the problem is that I don't have extra money to send your security key and the documents because I assisted to get the stamp duty and the delivery fee. That was the only money in my hand. I was hoping that as soon as you receive your package you will send it back with anything you wish to give me. I did not feel free to give Mr. Gian Martins, the diplomat agent, the key together with your consignment box to avoid him opening the luggage and finding out that it contains money, which he may divert the package for his personal interest. Since the diplomat agent with your luggage is already in your country, kindly send the £155.53 so that I will rush to Speed Courier Service Company and send you the key and documents immediately to enable the diplomat agent complete the delivery to your home address. However, Spatula was quick to point out, "But do you remember that you told me anyone asking for money before delivery of the fund is a scammer? I think you need to consider that because if you ask for money, it means you have to become a scammer, and I would not wish that upon you. Please continue with the delivery without the fee." Patrick said, "All I have with me is £50. If you can get the rest, £105 to complete the payment." Spatula replied, "But I am concerned because that will still force you to become a scammer, like you previously described. I don't think it's right to make you do that. Do you see the problem? Just bring the box here. I'll figure out how to open it myself. I have skills." But that was the end of the conversation, despite my attempts to keep it going. Perhaps the scammer decided not to be a scammer, but I doubt it. Oh well, moving on. Earlier in my main Scambaiting mailbox, I had received a message saying, "Subject, Hi." I sent a letter to your mail, but got no reply from you. I transplanted this into Spatula's mailbox and replied, "Nothing's arrived yet, but I'll keep my eyes open." As usual, the reply address went to a completely different person to the from address on the initial email. I received a reply which was pretty much the classic advance fee scam email opener. Let me show you its features. The widow of a wealthy foreign businessman is dying of breast cancer and wants to transfer her wealth, $8.5 million, as is conventional, to me, a complete stranger on the internet, so that I can use it for humanitarian purposes, which will apparently make her late husband happy in his grave. Lots of religious language. The only two things that are missing here is some detail about the tragic or sudden way in which the wealthy husband and often children died, and that the United States are written in plural form. The dying widow, of course, wants my personal details. You know the kind of details you should never share with a stranger on the internet. Finally, there were images attached of someone receiving treatment in a hospital bed, plus an X-ray image, looks like a stock photo depicting something that's supposed to be breast cancer, and a photo of a naked breast. Spatula replied, "Whoa, TMI." The scammer responded with a pre-written template email saying, "God be with you. Thank you for your message. I want you to know that this project is not a joke and is not a child's play, but this is the decision I made by myself to use my late husband's wealth to help the poor through your sincere help." And again, reiterating parts of the scam story and the request for personal information. Spatula replied, "I don't know. I think you've been way too candid with your personal information here. To you, I'm just a stranger on the internet, and you've told me everything about yourself. You should be a bit more careful about who you trust. There are some pretty awful people out there." The scammer pressed on with the introduction to the bank official, replying, "May God be with you. Thank you for your message. My doctor has told me this afternoon that I will do surgery operation by next month, and I pray for my survival." Spatula exclaimed, "Wait, you have to do the surgery yourself? Is the doctor at least going to talk you through it? I'm not sure you've been reading my emails properly. I really don't feel sure that you can trust me with this." The scammer, probably not really reading the replies, but just doggedly pasting in the next piece, which sounds almost like it came from a completely different scam template. "How are you and how is your health? Hope you are in good health. I'm happy to inform you about my success in getting those funds transferred under the cooperation of my new partner from India. Presently I am here in India where I'm taking my treatments and I'm better than before, and the doctor here has assured me that I will be fine. Let all the glory and honour be unto our Lord Jesus. Amen and amen. Meanwhile, I didn't forget your past efforts and attempts to assist me to receive the funds for the good work of God, despite that it failed us somehow. Please contact my pastor in Togo, his name is Pastor Johnson James, and ask him to send you the total of $450,000, which I have retained for your compensation for the whole past efforts and attempts to help me in our transaction before. I appreciated your efforts at that time, so do not hesitate and contact my pastor in Togo, and I have forwarded instruction to the pastor on your behalf to receive the Visa/MasterCard, because the fund is located on the Visa/MasterCard. That's an important detail. I have forwarded instruction to the pastor on your behalf to receive the Visa/MasterCard, so please feel free to get in touch with Pastor Johnson James and ask him to send the Visa/MasterCard to you without any delay. Please do let me know immediately you receive it so that we can share the joy after all the sufferers at that time, in the moment." Spatula responded, "Okay, will do. Let's just hope the Reverend Pastor doesn't make any stupid demands like gift cards or something." And then to the Reverend Johnson James, "Apparently I'm supposed to contact you." Pastor Johnson James replied, "I have received your message regarding the $450,000 Visa/MasterCard that your partner, Mrs. Loveth Konya, wrote and kept in your name before travelling to India." And then, of course, the usual waffle, asking me for my personal details. You know, the sort of details you should never share with a stranger on the internet. "The joy of the Lord is our strength. Be blessed, Pastor Johnson James." Now, something is amiss here. Have you spotted it? Everything is amiss, but there's one particular detail that stood out. The fund that I'm supposedly about to receive is already located on the Visa/MasterCard. There's no such thing. Visa and MasterCard are two different, separate, competing organisations. So Spatula asked, "Before we go any further, please could you clarify, is it a Visa card or a MasterCard? Because only one of those is actually useful here." Pastor Johnson James replied, "It is a Visa card." Spatula said to the Reverend, "Oh, sorry, that's no good. Only MasterCard." And to the original scammer character, "Unfortunately, it seems like the Reverend Pastor can't help, as he only has the wrong kind of card. Never mind, I suppose I will be lucky a different day." And that was the end of that. And I think a sudden smackdown is sometimes just as good as stringing a scammer along for days and weeks. So that's all I have for you today, but Spatula Grime will return soon. Thanks for watching, stay safe from scams, and I hope to see you again soon.